My Jewish soul is living in a secular world. Starting on November 26th, they sell Christmas trees on my corner. So I pass Christmas trees every day. And today, actually, as I'm speaking this, they call it Mother's Day. These are all secular days. And when I walk down the street, I see all these restaurants, they're non-kosher restaurants. I'm living in New York City, living within the secular community. And what does that mean? It means that there has to be a Judaism that fits into this world as we have it and answers problems of this world. There just so happens to be, in the highest echelons of Judaism, one book. One book is what we, as people in the secular community, should be reading and using that analysis of text in that book, the book of the Bible, to explicate the rest of the Jewish opus, of the Talmud, of the Torah, of the writings, of the codes. And that book is Shir HaShirim. It's the Kodesh HaKodeshim of the books of the Bible. It's the Holy of Holies. And it represents the Holy of Holies in the temple. So may I suggest, in this world, you can't start in with the Talmud and the Torah and the analysis and learning the more Hebrew, unless you want to devote your entire life to it like I did. So let me give you a shortcut, or as we like to say in film, cut to the chase. Let's cut to the chase. And that is the Song of Songs. The Shir HaShirim permeates Judaism and is the essence of Judaism, because the Shir HaShirim is the song of love, which is the essence level of Judaism that permeates every action. And after you analyze this Shir HaShirim, then you take that analysis and go back to the other texts in the Jewish opus. Every text, every word and every letter. But without the Shir HaShirim, without the Kodesh HaKodeshim, without the Holy of Holies, and let me explicate a little bit. I'm just not, telling it to you. The Shir HaShirim is what we say in the Sephardic tradition every Erev Shabbos, every week before we start Shabbos. Remember on Passover, the first 2 nights of Passover, you said the Shir HaShirim at the end of the entire Seder. You also say Shir HaShirim maybe on the Shabbos, the intermediate Shabbos of Passover. Shir HaShirim is the secret of the Jewish people. The Pesach Haggadah starts with the word hey Ha. That's Hey and Aleph. And remember, they say in Shir HaShirim, because it's written that way, Shir, that's one song, so there's like a silent Aleph before that. It's a Shir as one. HaShirim, Ha, that's 5 of the 5 songs. So there's an Aleph and a Hey. And isn't that the word in Ha starts the Pesach? It starts the Pesach and it ends the Pesach with Shir HaShirim. This same Ha, by the way, is shown in the Shema. There are 6 words in the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai. And then there's like a line in the Torah. I don't know what the word, it like separates it. And then you say Echad. So there's 5, and then there's 1. And Echad just happens to mean 1, which would be a Aleph. The word Bereshis starts off as Barashit. This Barashit is created 6. Which are the 6 words of the Shema? And that 6 is broken down into 5 and 1, because we know that from not only that, but we know that we know that there are 5 dinim, and then the kedusha. The 5 dinim are the 5 final letters. And so what are we doing? Let's get to the Shir HaShirim. It's the love song, what they say, is between God and Israel. God is the male, Israel is the female. But it could just be a love song between 2 lovers, a male and a female. It's explicated as different things. But in the real sense, let's get to it. It's been brought down, I don't make things up, that it's the conversation between the 2 cherubims, the two cherubs, the 2 cherubims that either face each other or turn from each other on the ark. So the 2 cherubims are on the ark in the Holy of Holies. These 2 cherubims are the 2 lovers, and this is the conversation. The Shir HaShirim is the conversation between these 2 cherubs. That rest on the ark, or above the ark. And inside the ark are the 2 luchos, the 2 Ten Commandments. In a certain sense, it's the communication of the 2 luchos, the two tablets of the 10 Commandments that are brought up and represented by the 2 cherubim. In a certain sense, these 2 cherubim are almost like and then the hands of the Kohanim, like the 2 cherubims. And these 2 cherubs, it happened to, from some gematria, can also be considered the Shema. Cherubim has a gematria of with the total letters of the Shema, the total sum of the Shema Yisrael Noi Eloheinu Adonai Echad. And just to show, what's the first word after we say the Shema? V'ahavta, and thou shalt love. Because the entire thing of the two cherubs is love. They're supposed to face each other for love. And that's the Shir HaShirim, the conversation between the two cherubs in the Holy of Holies. And what is the Holy of Holies? It's only visited once a year. That's the intercourse. The Holy of Holies is the spot of the intercourse. So it's called Kodesh HaKodeshim, that's like 1 of 5, and Shir HaShirim. And it's the only book necessary. There are also 117 verses in the Shir HaShirim. Now 117 is the gematria of Aleph, that's that one of the Aleph and the Hey, that's 111, and Hey, 6, Hey Aleph. And 111 is, that 111 and 6, that's 117. That's Aleph and the Hey. And that's the number of verses in Shir HaShirim. You think that's like random? There are also 8 chapters, which reflect, by the way, the 8 days of Hanukkah, and all other 8s, because 8 is the infinite level, which is the number 8 put on its side. And that's the 8. That's the infinite level, and that's the level of the marriage, the chuppah. It's written with a vav on one side. That's the male, and the Zion on the other side, and then a kind of like a crown that connects the two. And that's the chuppah, that's the marriage, that's the infinite level. Those are the 8 chapters in Shir HaShirim, which are reflected in the 8 days of Hanukkah. And there's so much more. So what I'm asking you to do, since we have to cut to the chase, is to use the lessons learned in the Shir HaShirim to explicate the rest of the books of the Torah, including Genesis, including everything. The secrets of Judaism are found in the Shir HaShirim and its extensions into the rest of the Jewish opus. This great secret is love. They call it the love between God and Israel. But in simple terms, it's the two cherubs, which is the love between man and woman. And woman and man, or love in general, love between two women, love between two men, love between child and man, child and mother. Remember, there are two people within you. It's love within you. You're an animal on the bottom and a human on top. My digestion doesn't work from my head. When I eat, I feed my animal. Theoretically, that's why you say a bracha. The human part gets its energy from the bracha, from God giving you the energy, but the animal part lives off the meat, or the cheese, or the apple. Physical. In a certain sense, Shir HaShirim is a story of the physical and the spiritual and the physical. Whenever there's a two-ness involved, there's a Shir and a HaShirim. There's a special one, and then there's a five, which is a dinam. In a certain sense, the Aleph is always male, and the Hey is always female. As one understands this, you'll find out that the dinam and the female eventually crown the male in a great secret as you progress. In its deepest sense, this is what makes Judaism, because the physical crowns the spiritual. One has to bring the spiritual down into the physical. And that's what the whole idea is of Judaism. This two-ness, this unity of the two-ness, is represented in the two cherubim on the ark. And these two cherubim represent love. And that's the secret of Judaism. It's quite as simple as that. This is represented in the letter Bet. But quite frankly, Judaism and love, when in its full analysis, is found, you have to find that from the book of Shir HaShirim. But it's explicated on a daily basis in the Shema. And the first verse of the Shema, of the paragraph. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'kol levavecha, with all your heart. Ufkol nafshaka, with all your soul. Ufkol miyodeka, with all your strength. V'ahavta, and thou shalt love. And that's 414 is the gematria, which is 2 times or Ein Sof, or 2 times Ein Sof, and a double 207. And remember that the letter that starts the Torah is a Bet, and that's 2. And that represents the 2 cherubs on the cherubs, whatever they call them, on the ark in the Holy of Holies, which is entered into on Yom HaKippurim. And this Yom HaKippurim is the day of love. Beautiful.